Hey guys, it's Ben. Today I'm on my second video of the top 5 the top 5 critical competencies for senior HR leaders. In my first video I talked about effective communication. Today we're going to talk about strategic thinking. Now, every single day it seems I'm reading something about how human resources people need to be more strategic. I know that at the HR Evolution Unconference, the first one we had, there was a huge discussion about how some positions just are tactical. They do something administrative. They don't do anything that's really has a high strategic plan to it or anything else. But there are still enough of us that have some sort of influence on how a process goes or something else that we can influence that whole deal strategically anyway. So anyway, if you're going to be a senior HR leader, you have to know some strategic thinking. And I have 3 quick things that I have learned and used that have helped me in that area. First, ask what's next. When you hear someone mention a new policy, when you are thinking about implementing this new process, think, what's next? What is going to happen, a month from now, a year from now? Are we going to be able to sustain this? What's it going to look like? It's going to be a burden on us. Is it scalable? Just ask what's going to happen next if you do what you're considering doing. Because if you don't plan out ahead, you can really get bitten on the butt by some things that you do. Think about how it's going to affect you, how it's going to affect others, things like that. Next, know your business. People talk about this one too a lot. You have to know what your organization does, how they do it, why they do it. You don't have to go and run a punch press if you're making plates or something else. You don't have to do like the nitty-gritty stuff, but you have to know how they do it and why they do it, because that helps you to make plans and really think through how things are going to affect the whole organization. If you said, we're going to require people to start their day 15 minutes earlier, well, that could have a huge impact just, based on where someone is or what their position is or what they do. That's just a random idea, but there are so many different ways that just one small decision on your end can affect people elsewhere. So you have to know the business. And I'm going to coin this phrase. I just thought of it as I was preparing for this. If you start to feel like you are a subject matter expert in your industry who practices HR, you're probably getting close to that know the business part of things. And finally, number 3, make the strategic planning worthwhile. I know of so many companies and people that have gone through the process to create this 50-page monster strategic plan, what to do, how it's going to affect things down the road, everything else. And then that 5-inch document is 6 inches tall because there's an inch of dust on top. They haven't touched it since they created it. They haven't looked at it. The first page of the strategic plan probably says dictated to blah blah, typing on a typewriter or something else. It makes no sense at all to put effort, resources, time and energy into building something that's going to plan the future for your organization if you just leave it on the shelf. So make it worthwhile. If you're going to do that, have someone that's in charge of touching on it every month or whatever the interval is. If it's quarterly, if you're going to be a senior HR leader, you're going to kind of need to keep your fingers on the pulse of that, making sure that you're aligned with it, if there needs to be course corrections, whatever else. So anyway, those 3 things, asking what's next, knowing the business, and making that strategic plan worthwhile are 3 of the things that I think that senior HR leaders need to do if they're going to be strategic. If you have your own little ideas, there are no little ideas. If you have your own ideas you'd like to share, please drop in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks.